Hey, 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 what's up, everybody? Welcome to Fly Nubian Money, where we help you to master your mindset and maximize your what, ladies?
Money.
Hey, 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 hey. So, listen, this is no laughing matter because the federal government shutdown has now become the second longest in the U.S. history, leaving hundreds of thousands of workers without paychecks. We are just a few days away from food stamps being discontinued, which will also impact millions of Americans. Meanwhile, a $240 million West Wing expansion is underway at the White House. So today, we are talking about how this shutdown exposes the government misplaced priorities, what financial resilience really looks like during political chaos, and how hardworking class families are always the ones left hanging. So, before we get into the conversation, though, I want to have a conversation. I want to tell you who we have here. We have the dopest and amazing queens on the planet. We have Dr. the B. Big. Coach. Hey, the B. Big. Eh, eh. Dr. Felice Britt Hightower, none other than. And then listen, you guys. I want everybody to listen to me clearly, okay? I want you to come close. I want you to come close because I just found out that our very beloved Dr. Sabrina is a MAGA Trump supporter. Welcome, Dr. Sabrina. And then a little bit later, we got Black Hollywood. Listen, I just want to cause a riot. We got Miss Black Hollywood coming on a little bit later. But what's up, ladies? How you guys doing?
Good.
Sophia said, no. No. You know what though? Let me tell you, my mom does that. My mom, I'm a Trump. She just does that to piss everybody off, but she doesn't say just kidding. But I know she doesn't because she'll say other things. But I'm a Republican because the Democrats, they morals is like a Alec. She country and we call her the real Uncle Ruckus, Auntie Ruckus, because my mama be on some shit. Anyway, so the government shutdown, has it affected either of you in any way, ladies?
I'm waiting to see. I depend on money from the Housing and Urban Development Division that supports some of my tenants. So I don't know. I'll know if the check doesn't hit the bank on the 5th. I don't know.
Oh, shit. So what about you, Dr.
It affects me through my clients because either they know somebody who's been directly affected or they are anticipating, they having that anticipatory, like that anxiety around the uncertainty of everything. And so having to kind of talk them through those things, that's how it's been affecting. I mean, this is affecting people, period. And so they bring that into the therapy session.
Mm-hmm. And I do actually want to center the conversation around that because it's not just affecting the people who are directly affected, who are furloughed, because I know people here who are furloughed. I think it's great how the people are galvanizing around the communities to make sure that people are eating. You see Dr. Jamal Bryant, he's telling people, hey, don't bring a tie this week, bring some food. So you do see people in the community gathering together, but that only lasts so long. We pay taxes, and this is what our tax money is for. And so to see the government mishandle this money is a travesty. So for you, Dr. Felice, let's talk about direction or mindset, or what should we be doing during this time? And I want to get more into it later, but I want to talk a little bit about it now. What should we get into it?
So one of the things that I tell my clients to kind of focus on are the things that they can control, right? We can't control what our president or any of them are going to do. But what are those things that are within our control? And I'm going to tell you the truth. We've been through shutdowns before, but it's something about this one that feels different. And my heart is really going out towards the people who are in the direct line of this. And so even myself, I'm like, okay, so what can I do? So one of the things that I can do is that I can donate money to food banks or organizations that are on the front lines to make sure that people get their immediate needs met, like with food, pantries. Can I give food or things to that? I've even been thinking about, seriously, talking to people, coming on platforms like this, What can we do for our air traffic controllers? Because at the end of the day, I care about people being able to travel safely. And how do you really and reasonably expect these people to show up to work and they're not getting paid? And put
Yeah.
out for people and have the same work ethic when they're hungry, or they've got their minds kind of not focused because they're thinking about bills that they're not getting paid. So how do we help these people? So what are those things that you can control? Do
Yeah.
that, volunteer in spaces,
Mhm.
use that frustration and irritability, fuel that as motivation to do what you can do. And so that's what I'm having them to do. I'm also instructing them to up their self-care game. Like, you have really got to take care of yourself so that you can manage these things and then stay in your now.
Yeah.
You go too far out. You can't be thinking of the past. And sometimes you really do have to not invite certain data into your spirit. And so if you know that this information triggers you in ways that doesn't support your mental health, then you possibly have to wean yourself or fast from it for a little bit to get your mental health back in check before you engage again in those arenas.
Yeah. Tiara, what about you? Do you know, have you been directly affected? Oh yeah. Oh, by the way, if you guys don't know, this is Miss Black Hollywood over here. She's out in LA, and it's like every time there's something that's been happening this year, LA's been hit. So
Yeah.
have you seen any direct effect of this shutdown happen to people in LA?
For sure. And I just been feeling the effects of this last strike that hit LA. Like, the entertainment business is just a different business. And thank God that I have, this V1 community, because it saved me in a lot of ways, like us building, this community here. But I'll just say, I'm looking around at my family members. My clients are saying, like, listen, I am nervous. So maybe we hold off on this thing and we start up once I know what's happening in my life. Or I was talking to a cousin just yesterday who has a full-time job and their family and 3 children, and they still depend on SNAP. And so she was just like, I don't know what we're going to do. And so it just really had me thinking. My mother was concerned about her health care. I mean, people are just frightened, even if it's the unknown, it's the uncertainty of it all. And
Mhm.
so yeah, so to answer your question, not directly, right? Like, I wasn't receiving SNAP benefits or working a government job, but I have clients and friends and family who are feeling all the effects, so that affects me.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely affects us all, either
Yeah.
directly or indirectly, and
Yeah.
everything is going to be a ripple effect. And this is why I don't understand why, even like I saw yesterday, they were talking about how Amazon's going to be laying off a bunch of people from their jobs because due to AI. But it's like, okay, who's going to be buying the products if the people don't got the jobs? Like, that's how the economy works. You got to have jobs in order to buy. And if you're getting rid of all the jobs, who's going to be buying the shit?
Yeah.
That's how this stuff works with the government shutdown, with them getting rid of Medicaid, with them getting rid of the SNAP benefits. Who's going to buy the groceries? That's going to affect the whole supply chain. What about the truck drivers who have to drive the trucks? Like, this is just more than, oh, get off your lazy fat ass, because a lot of these people who have these benefits actually work full-time jobs as well.
Yeah.
So, but for you, Dr. Sabrina, do you think that maybe politicians are just out of touch with the average American people, or do they even care? Like, where the fuck are these politicians at? Where's their head at these days? What have you seen?
Absolutely. And that's the tragic part. You have people that are playing politics, and the masses are really the ones that are suffering. I remember it wasn't too long ago, I was a government employee, and I remember going through the shutdown. And not knowing, whether we were going to get paid, how long we were going to be laid off. And it does affect your mental health. And I think one of the questions you ask is, what can we do? I want to encourage all of us to exercise a level of grace, empathy toward our fellow man. Like, I just saw a comment in the chat about all you single mothers will learn. So here's the thing. Everybody that's receiving benefits, I mean, let's not be judgmental. We don't know anybody else's struggle. We really do not. All of us are just really one situation away from that being our reality. And so
Yep.
I don't stand in judgment.
That's right.
I do not stand in judgment. But what I would encourage us to do, just recognize that people will probably be anxious. There will be people that will have, these different responses. Like maybe the person that works at the service station, you go in there, or at the fast food place, you go in there, they're not getting their benefits. They're on edge. They're worried about whether or not their babies are going to eat. So I
Yeah.
think we have to exercise a level of grace for our fellow man. Because
Empathy.
just because it's not me, hey, it could be tomorrow. Who am I? I don't know the future. None of us do. We
Right.
don't know what's down the road. So I just say let's be mindful when we make certain comments and when we
Yeah.
stand in judgment of others. We don't know their situations. We don't
Absolutely.
know.
Right.
We do not know their situations. And for those of you that are in the North or on the West Coast, a service station is actually a gas station. They call them service stations down south. Anyway, let's go to a commercial. And we'll be right back.
It's a good show right here. But I'm biased. If you are just tuning in, you are watching Fly Nubian Money, where we help you master your mindset and maximize your money. My name is Tiara Williams. I'm also known as Miss Black Hollywood, and I'm the proud producer of this show because it is lit. If you want to receive notifications for when we go live Monday through Friday, 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All you have to do is text the word Queens to 87948. That's Queens to 87948. That's QUEENS to 87948. Also, if you want to grow your money and not blow your money, all you have to do is go to flynubianmoney.com. There's all kinds of resources, there's courses, there's free giveaways. There's just no reason to be broke in 2025. All you have to do is go to flynubianmoney.com. Obviously, you don't want to be entertained here. You want to know enough to grow. Wait, I need to put that on a shirt. You got to know to grow. Got to know to grow. So no.
It is a rather devastating indictment and snapshot of life in Donald Trump's America as the government shutdown and Donald Trump's policies put additional financial pressure on Americans already stretched too thin. And for those who voted for Trump, promised lower costing groceries, among other things. The USDA has announced that come Saturday, the 42 million Americans who rely on the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, it's often referred to as SNAP, will be forced to go without benefits that'll run out. Trump's USDA writes in a statement this, quote, "The well has run dry." It comes after Trump cut approximately $500 million in aid for food banks earlier this year, and is not the only way that life is about to get a lot more difficult for a lot more Americans. The government shutdown and Americans out of work over the Republicans' refusal to extend Obamacare subsidies. The Washington Post is reporting that people are going to see their premiums go up 30%. The Post writes this, quote, "The higher premiums, along with the likely expiration of pandemic-era subsidies, mean millions of people will see their health insurance payments double or even triple in 2026. And if that isn't enough already, these additional financial pressures come as the New York Times reports that almost everything is about to get more expensive as companies finally start passing along the costs of Donald Trump's tariffs to the American consumer. Amid the growing hunger and affordability crisis in America, blue state governors are expressing outrage over Donald Trump's lack of action.
We are fast tracking.
It is absolutely ridiculous. But essentially what's happening is they've given these these billionaires and these corporations really huge tax breaks and tax cuts. And so now something has to get cut in order to be able to support the billionaires. And it's fallen on the American people. Let's look at one of the stats. The average American has less than $1,000 in savings, meaning most households can't survive more than 1 missed paycheck. So we have this government shutdown. We have all of these people who have now, how long has the government been shut down now? About almost 30 days?
29 days. Yeah.
So now we're going into a month. They have no money. Do you think, Dr. Sabrina, that these are the same people, especially the folks who are getting the SNAP? The midterm elections are going to be coming up pretty soon, right?
Mhm.
Do you think that they'll go back and vote against their own best interest?
I don't know about everybody, but I know where I am, they
I'm talking about
will.
MAGA. I'm talking about MAGA. How you think
You
they
know,
vote?
you
I'm
being
in the
MAGA
heart
and
of
all.
MAGA. I'm
You
just
being MAGA
saying.
and all.
I'm just saying. I
But you
know that
MAGA.
they will hear, and that's what the sad part is. And I mean, in all seriousness, it's sad when I have so much dislike and disdain for someone else because of
Yeah.
something nobody can control. We can't control how we come here.
Yeah.
We didn't get a vote on that because I certainly wouldn't have come like this right here.
No.
Okay, no. We would have fixed some stuff. Okay, but I had no control over it. So to look at someone and say, because you are brown or because you look a certain way, then we're going to try to make life as hard for you as possible. And then, ultimately, we ended up hurting ourselves, the farmers. I just read something on my phone where this farmer was saying, I voted the way I did to get rid of the gay folks and the brown folks, but I didn't realize I was going to lose my farm. I didn't realize that.
What did Silly say on Color Purple? The grave you dig for me gonna be the grave you dig for yourself.
Absolutely.
They fucked around and found out for real.
Yeah.
But going back to that empathy that she's talking about, Dr. Felice, and she's talking about, we don't know what other people are going through, and so we do need to have empathy for these other people. And it's hard to be empathetic. I'm gonna be real. When you have people who think the way they do, and the reason why we're in this mess is because they voted the way they do because of the hatred, the sheer hatred that has been embedded. How does somebody like me empathize with someone like that who will vote simply because of my skin tone against everybody's better interest? How do I have empathy towards them?
So
Help me be a good Christian.
So, I just told a client today, I was like, thank God I'm not God. Because if I was God, I just say with a word, blow them up, and I'm gonna start all over again. And so that's what I would do. And so thank God, y'all better thank God I'm not Jesus. And so how does he do it with any of us? It's a deep understanding about the frailty of humanity and what that looks like. And so one of the ways that I'm able to provide grace with all people is that, just like what Dr. Sabrina said, none of us said or had a choice of how we come here, right? And so if I think about my Caucasian brothers and sisters, right, they didn't have a choice. And they also don't have a choice about who is teaching them and who's raising them. And so if they don't get to a certain age and decide on their own that they're going to be educated, that they're going to not remain in that circle, they are doing all that they've been taught to do. They are doing all that they know to do, right? And when you're in a circle and that's all you know, that's all you know. And if that circle works for you, that privilege, because I don't blame them. Like if I grew up with privilege and that privilege was threatened, by any means necessary, I do whatever it would take to make sure I held on to that privilege. And so they're doing what they're taught to do. That's where the grace comes in. And then it's education, it's platforms, them seeing people like you and hearing a different way to be, a different way to think. And you got to keep throwing that education out, hoping that that seed gets watered. And so that they start reevaluating, maybe this isn't the best way. And maybe, and that's where the grace gets extended. And so, because at any day, I just hope that God don't just say, I'm just going to go poof and take them all out, right? Like, it doesn't matter, like all of y'all going. And so I have to think about that there's something that I don't understand. And so I got to do what I know to do. And according to my faith, I am to love and treat everybody with respect, regardless of their ignorance and not knowing how to do the same. And at the end of the day, this is what I tell everybody. You are not going to stop me from getting to heaven. And if hate is going to stop me from getting to heaven, because this is just a brief moment in time, heaven is eternity. I'm not giving up my eternal ticket for this brief moment. And so that's how I have to approach it. That's just something I do, and how I'm able to love people regardless of their ignorance or their lack of knowledge. That's how I do it.
I appreciate that. Thank you. I'm gonna ask my good sis over here, my ride or die. What should I do, sis? What does somebody like me do? And how do I have empathy for someone who hates me so much that they will vote for some bullshit to fuck us all up?
You just allow them, you let them, because I read that book by Mel Robbins not too long ago, and I was like, just let people do what they gonna do, right? You do your part already. If we're talking about I know you specifically, right? You create these Black History videos that go viral on the internet, and you get hate because of the people. They don't look at it and say, maybe I should understand Black people. They say, effing nigger, right? Like, that's how they respond to that, right? You're a divider, or you're lying, or whatever they say.
Race baiter.
Yeah, you're a race baiter. All the things that they say to Constance under those comments, we understand that those people are not, they're just not open to that. They've been taught for too long one way of thinking, and they're not willing to change or be open or flexible. So you got to let them, because it's all good. Like, okay, all right, we got you. So I would just say that. Just have grace for letting them be them, and you keep doing what you're doing.
All right, cool. I'm gonna ask
Oh.
Sabrina. I'm gonna ask Dr. Sabrina. I'm gonna ask you this because you're the one that came up with this whole idea of having grace and empathy. I heard from these two sisters. I need you to tell me what Constance Carter needs to do. Have empathy for the motherfuckers that voted for this dumbass shit.
She wants you to say something else.
The question is getting worse and worse, right?
Okay. So let's say, let me give you a image. Let's say you were on a boat with somebody that had just done something harmful to you, and you're really upset with that person, and y'all out in the middle of the ocean on a boat. Would you cut a hole in the boat to cause them to drown just because you upset with them, knowing you will drown too? You
yes, they would. So what do I do about the motherfucker that cut the hole in the goddamn boat?
Would you do that? So the reality is they going down, but we going down too. So I mean, I get it. I get it. And I wasn't even, when I made that statement, let me just step that back. Let me walk that back. I wasn't really so much talking about having grace for them. Dr. Felice did that. Thank you. You gave me a whole nother perspective, because I wasn't talking about them. I was talking about having grace for the single mothers, because that comment was placed in the chat. That's all I'm saying. But seriously, I mean, I remember my mother saying as a child, being reared here in Mississippi, that they were poor, but there were also some very poor whites in Mississippi as well. And they were in the struggle together. She said she can remember her parents telling her, go borrow some, sugar from them, or go get a few dollars for them. And then she remembered them coming to their house to get money too. Now, the question is, how did they vote? Were they people that voted against their best interests? Well, here in this state, they probably were, but they were in the same boat. Don't put a hole in the boat. Put the hole in the boat.
Just don't be in the boat with them. Deborah Will said it's like peeing on yourself and hoping the other person feels it. Basically, that boat. We're going to talk more about this when we come back from the break.
I know. You're busy, you got things to do, and you can't take us on the go with you every single day. Good news for you. We are now on Spotify. So if you can't watch us, now you can listen to us on Spotify. Search Fly Nubian Money and all the episodes shall appear. All you have to do is like, subscribe, leave a 5-star rating, leave some comments, tell people how you love us, so that when other people come along and are looking for a great show to watch, they can find Fly Nubian Money too. One last thing, and just in case you've been sitting under a rock, Fly Nubian Money now has an investment club. We are the Fly Nubian Money Club. It's easy. All you have to do is go to flynubianmoneyclub.com, and I am committed to bringing in top experts from all industries to help you level up. They're teaching us the skills that we need to compete in this market. We often say that nobody is coming to save us, not the government, but guess what? We're coming to save us. I'm coming to save you with the Fly Nubian Money Club. So listen, all you have to do again is go to flynubianmoneyclub.com. We have a 30-day free trial set up just for you, just for those people that are struggling. Even if you ain't struggling, you ain't got to struggle. I'm coming.
That's all. We didn't hurt anybody. We don't deserve this.
What does having this distribution mean?
It means a lot to me. It means the world to me what they're doing, because sometimes you feel forgotten. You go to work to help people. That's our job, to help people. That's all we do. We go in every single day. This is day 28. The last paycheck we got was for 7 days through the end of September. And that's it. But we've been there every single day. We've been there every day. Who's thinking of us? We didn't hurt anybody. I promise you, we give our best. We have good people that go to work every single day to give their best. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
This is a dag blame shame. And the politicians are so far removed from this, Dr. Felice. And I know, okay, so I know you're coming from a place where have empathy, but I want to talk about the politicians who are making these decisions to do this. And it's really about taking the rich, the money from the poor and giving it to the rich. What the fuck is going on?
Because they voted no on whether they should get paid. Whether to pay essential employees as workers are set to miss their first day, right? So they voted no. The Senate voted no, but the Senate receives pay.
Yeah. So, okay. Do you think that if their pay was on the line, they would be voting the same way they vote?
I think a lot of them are already rich, right? So they don't even, the money they get is just padding. It's not even going to affect them really, because a lot of them have money. And so I don't think it really would affect them. And I think they are far removed to the American people. And I hope the American people, I want them to lean into this moment. I really do. I want them to sit in their frustration. I want them to sit in their pain. And I want them to take that pain all the way to the voting booth. And I want them to change every person who is sitting in there, besides not Jasmine. I want them to go in there.
Not Jasmine.
And seriously, I want them to show their politicians what they do have power over. And a lot of it is their vote. You don't want to take care of me? That's all right. I'm going to change my vote. I want them to use it and change it. I want them to go out there and galvanize. I want them to go out there and I want them to drive people to the polls. I want them to walk with people to the polls and change their vote, because I do believe that they are far removed from us. And I do believe that it is time for us to lean into this and to do something. What does that mean? I saw somebody say, like, because, and y'all walk with me just a little bit, walk with me. Sometimes our flow, because I don't believe it's ever for our ultimate demise. I think it's for our ultimate good. I think we're supposed to take this data and do something differently. So what are we supposed to do? I think it's time for us to start growing our own food. Like, look, collect them seeds, put a garden in your house. It's time for us to start exercising. It's time for us to start eating better. It's time for us to start building community again. Come out of your house. Stop acting like you don't know your neighbor. Get to know your neighbor. There's things that is going to force us to get back to. We used to be community focused. We used to eat better. I remember my mother used to cook our meals every day. I didn't never go to McDonald's. McDonald's what? That was like Christmas. Like, start doing certain things that's going to force us to reevaluate our lives, make better choices so that we don't have to worry about whether or not we go into the hospital, because we're taking care of ourselves. Don't worry about that. I don't have to have those medications because I'm taking care of myself. I don't have to worry about grocery prices because I got my own garden. I don't have to worry about certain things because I got a village where we all looking out and taking care of one another. So I'm just saying, and I know that's going to take time, but we have to take this data and figure out what do we do to make sure we don't sink, but that we swim. We don't have time to succumb to this. We don't have time to succumb to this buffoonery. What we can do is pull on what we do have and start making things better for ourselves, period.
Well, I want to interject something there, and I agree with what you said, but I got to comment on a couple of things. First, Anonymous, we love you.
I wasn't even going to even.
I think part of the problem within our community right now is that mindset. I got mine. We good over here, so I don't give a darn about what's going on with anybody else. Forget Shaniqua, LaQuisha, and Lakita and them and all their kids. Well, here's the problem. We have tried to create this society of the haves and the have-nots, but the reality is the have-nots gonna have. Now, they may have to come knock you in the head and take what you got and swim in your pool, but they gonna have. So I'm not trying to create no society where it's them versus me. I want us all to rise. And I think we need to stop this madness about I got mine and we good. If everybody ain't good, we ain't good. That's just the bottom line. I ain't trying to live in fear around here because some of these people are on edge. And who's to say that I'm not going to be the one, or my children are not going to be the one that are going to get carjacked because of this madness and this mindset. That's the mindset that them folks over there that's bickering over these politics have. We don't care about y'all because we got ours. We still gonna eat whether y'all eat or not.
Right.
Stop it.
And he might be one of the ones that get hit upside the head with his pool and all his full refrigerator over there.
Yeah.
Man, I don't believe nothing Anonymous say. He live in somebody's basement.
He live with
I mean, like, get out of here.
Conversation. Mama got a pool, sir. Not nothing to joke about.
But
I've been there.
But we understand for sure.
Yeah. And the other part is even with eating healthy, I don't deny that, and I agree with that because for me, I'm gonna change some things in my own life because of this. It is heightening my own personal awareness. When I was in graduate school, I didn't have health insurance. I didn't have it. My one concern, the whole 4 years that I was in graduate school, was not about necessarily keeping myself healthy because I did that. I walked to class, I went to the gym, I tried to eat right. It was what happens if we're in a car accident on the way home or if something happens to us. So this whole healthcare conversation, as far as I'm concerned, from what I remember when I didn't have health insurance, it goes way further than just me doing my part. And I get that. I'm going to do my part. And I think we all should. But life has a way of happening to us. And we never know. Like we may be the one that's out there minding our own business and we get knocked over the head. And we end up in the emergency room with no health insurance.
Hospitals can't turn you away. They can't turn you away. And that's why you always heard where people would say it's the rich and the poor that have good health care. And so even if you don't have health insurance, what people don't know, and this is because I have, I know y'all know that I have my own, I'm a co-founder for States of Wellness, Inc., where we go into the states and help people with the disparities. What people don't know is that they can't turn you away. Go to the emergency room. Second thing, for people who don't have health insurance, one of the things you don't know too is that sometimes it's cheaper for you to go to your OBGYN or whatever and talk to them and pay out of pocket yourself. Sometimes it's even cheaper than for you to pay out of pocket for yourself for your doctor's visit than it is even with your insurance. So there are things that you can still do to make sure that you do get seen and that you can keep your health going even if you don't have insurance. So I don't want people to freak out to think that they can't get any health care because they don't have insurance. There's still some things you can do and work out even without it.
We do know the better the insurance, the better the care.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right.
I get that. But we talking about Black people. So it don't even matter if Black people have insurance and they don't, right? There's a parallel society for us. So even with insurance, they still don't give Black people the same. You walking with me? Okay, so what I'm saying is that please don't panic about your medications, any of that. There are things and ways that you can still get it, even if you don't have health care.
Tiara, what you got to say?
Yeah, so I was gonna respond to something a long time ago.
You forgot.
I wanted to throw in when Dr. Felice was talking, it made me think about when she said we were walking to the polls together because we walked, right? And I think that we did our part. The thing is, I believe that this election was rigged, right? I know that they've used
100%.
AI 100% to play a different game. So
Mhm.
I don't even know if voting matters as so
That's what I was
much as
thinking
like,
too.
and I don't know if it matters anymore if something can be rigged. AI is here, and I think they caught it before we did, right? He partnered with Elon for a reason because Elon knows the computers. Thank Elon for Pennsylvania, right? We heard that, we heard him say that, and we know what that meant. You want, I say this every time, you want all the swing states? Nah.
Uh-oh. What the hell?
No,
Why am I?
why would it do that? Why what hey,
You
welcome
want all
back.
the swing? You want all the swing states?
He won all the swing states now. But I just, so I just
And,
believe that
Democratic governors, right? So you have Democratic governor, but he won those states with Democratic governors. It's crazy.
yeah, like it make sense. So I
It
just say
doesn't.
this. I believe that at this point it is about unity because right, we can talk about the things that we need to do in the future, right? Like we need to eat better, we need to do this, but right now, for people that can't go and invest, that can't go and start a business and turn their lives around tomorrow in the middle of a shutdown, what we can do is band together and help each other weather the storm.
Right.
That's just it. That's what it's gonna take.
Just to add to what you said.
Then he journeyed to Pennsylvania, where he spent like a month and a half campaigning for me in Pennsylvania. And he's a popular guy, and he was very effective. And he knows those computers better than anybody, all those computers, those vote counting computers. And we ended up winning Pennsylvania like in a landslide. So it was pretty good. It was pretty good. So thank you to Elon.
Houseway.
Yeah.
How?
Yeah.
So my question, because I was thinking when Dr. Felice was talking, was that I think the dynamics of politics have changed. I think this election, not just the voting, but I think this election has changed the dynamics of politics. I mean, it was always, you always had your lobbyists that had influence. But it's gone beyond that with this oligarchy. When you have these corporations who've donated so much money, so they have a particular say. When you have monopolies that are not being taken down, which is the president is supposed to do that because somebody is donating to their inauguration or donating into their administration, the dynamics of politics as we know it has changed. Now we have to fight fire with fire. Like now, even with the voting, not even if it was not rigged in that way, right? With AI and the computers, well, now we have gerrymandering. Now we have redistricting. So even if everybody is pissed off about them not eating and they go to the polls, they're still going to the way gerrymandering is set up. These people are still going to win these elections. It don't even matter. So then, like, we are in a god dang near third world country at this point. And it really is. They've been saying this for so long. The haves and the have-nots is this that divide is getting wider and wider and wider. And we're seeing it in real time, which is crazy. So let's take a look at our next video or commercial.
Or give me a second. For whatever reason, the system is now on your show.
Oh,
and so
no,
we can
go
just
back.
I gotta reboot. So we just
good.
gonna talk.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for putting me back. Let's go to commercial. Yeah, all right, let's do it.
Are you a Black business owner looking to expand your reach? Well, has Fly Nubian Money got good news for you? We are building a Black business directory to connect you with customers who need your services. And here is the best part. It is absolutely free. Email us at info@realvirtual.net. Send us your business name. Tell us a little bit about what you do, what services you offer. your website address, and your contact information. That's it. Together, we are going to build and circulate the black dollar. Get listed today and start connecting with people who are probably already looking for you.
Welcome back. So listen, today we're talking about the government shutdown, and it's leaving lots and millions of Americans in jeopardy right now. You not only have people that work for the federal government who are not working, you also have SNAP benefits getting ready to be up. You have Medicare at stake. So there's so much that's going on, and I just keep seeing all of these reels with Donald Trump just lying. My numbers are the best that they've been. Farmers are making more than they've ever made. Like, just lying. And the crazy thing is, these people believe it. So let's take a look at some stats really quick before we go to the next video.
Okay. All right. I was
Sorry
already.
about that. I ain't see.
You're just doing stuff.
The last major government shutdown in 2018 cost the economy $11 billion, according to the Congressional Budget Office. Give me another one.
Okay.
Federal employees who work without pay during shutdown are often forced to rely on credit cards or payday loans to get by. And let's talk about what that looks like. Because when you're talking about payday loans, that's almost usury. I don't know if you guys know what usury is, but usury is illegal, exorbitant interest rates. So people have to rely on that. Compound interest on a credit card. So if you have to use a credit card and you're paying back the minimum payments, you're going to be paying compounded interest. And it's sad what the government is putting the common workers through and then expecting them to go to work. How do you think this new wave of government, Dr. Sabrina, this new, because I was just mentioning, like, I just think it's just a different, like, even elections are going to be different now, or even the way the government is run, just because it's really, the United States is really in a stick up now. Are we going to be able to recover from this?
I don't know, but I wouldn't be too mad if some people that's not getting paid just got upset to the point where they like, that SBA loan, forgiven. That student loan, forgiven. Right? I mean, hey, I ain't get paid no way. I get paid to collect. Since I'm not getting paid, why collect? Forgiven. Click. Forgiven. Click. It wouldn't hurt my feelings. I'm just saying. I was a federal employee, you guys, and I don't know how many people in the chat or even my co-hosts here on the platform have been in that position, but that's not a good position to be in, because the reality is, yeah, there are some people that will say, hey, we understand, we'll work with you. But at the end of the day, people want their money. So, people they don't care if you got to go to the payday loan to get it. They don't care if you got to put it on a credit card and pay interest for the next 10 years. They simply want to be paid. And so it does put people, in a really, really bad position when we force their hands. I mean, and that's what we're doing right now. We're forcing people's hands.
Well, the only way for Donald Trump to win me over is if he gets rid of the IRS. If he gets rid of them motherfuckers, I'm voting for 2026 for Donald Trump. 2028. He's my president 2028. I ain't even lying. Let's take a look at the next video.
You know what? I was going to run a fact check, but let's just see what Donald Trump said before. Let's just see what he used to say versus what he says now.
My opinion, I hear the Democrats are going to be blamed and the Republicans are going to be blamed. I actually think the president would be blamed. If there is a shutdown, and it's not going to be a horrible shutdown because, as you know, things will sort of keep going.
It's a partial shutdown, right?
If there is a shutdown, I think it would be a tremendously negative mark on the president of the United States. He's the one that has to get people together.
So now he's saying it's the Democrats, and we're getting rid of the Democrat program that we didn't really like. The Democrat, like, this dude is so dumb. What's the Democrat program? The ones that help people, that help the common people? What the fuck is the Democrat program that this stupid ass is talking about? Like, this is crazy. But what do you think, Felice, about this man walking everything back? Did you ever believe him? Because I know before we started the show, Tiara said something about, this is when he was more charming.
Let me go back. Wait, hold up. Don't do me that. I was just saying that I feel like there's some type of mental that something has happened. There's been a
Deficit.
change in
That's when
him
you
as-
said he was charming, and she said that she was a MAGA. Both y'all was wilding before we got on the show. I don't know.
I'll shut this show down right now. Don't do me that. Go ahead, Dr. Felice. What was you about to say?
Well, I mean, I think I saw in the news yesterday where he was trying to figure out how he could run for a third term. And I mean, I don't think it's far-fetched. I think the way that no one's really stopping or checking or balancing any of the things that are happening, I mean, it's possible. Do I think that this country is like, I don't think there's anything new under the sun. I think that the world has experienced this before and we've come out of it. No, it's just going to be, I don't know how long it'll take, but I don't think that I think this is temporary. Now, what is temporary?
Do you recall the fall of the great Roman Empire? They never recovered.
So, but Rome is still here, right? And
it's never recovered.
I know, but it's
the best empire ever.
Right. It's different. And, you know, I think that our demise is for a lot of different reasons, right? But I think that people are still having babies, we'll still have society, like it's still going to go on. And so I just think that I want us to use this time to figure out how do we become better. And I think this is going to be really strategic in that it's hurting enough of the people who possibly did vote for him, or even those who didn't, or people who look like him. I think that it's hurting enough of them for them to rethink about how they're going to go about doing things differently. And sometimes you have to, it's unfortunate, right? It's unfortunate that when sometimes something happens, everybody gets affected, but it's got to be strategic people that get affected in order for some change to happen. And I think that's what's happening now. I think it's going to be enough of them, right? Because think about it, for the healthcare, 57% of people who are on Obamacare are Republicans and they live in red states. Mm-hmm. And so that is 57% is a lot. And those people are not going to have healthcare come November 1. And the reason that if they don't go ahead and open up the government before November 1, those insurance premiums are going to go out and they can't be changed after that. Even when the government opens, the insurance companies are going to up those premiums by November 1st. So by November 1st, people's premiums, they're not going to have insurance come January 1.
You're not going to be paying. So it's going to be a ripple effect for sure. But
right. It's going to matter. That's going to matter because those people, when they feel the pain, when they start to realize, oh, wait, so this is what those others were feeling. You mean to tell me we feeling it too? That's what's going to change. And that's what we need to happen. And sometimes it's unfortunate that we get thrown in there too, but we're used to struggle. Like this ain't new to us. And
I appreciate your optimism though, Doctor. I really do. Because you know, nothing's new under the sun. God's gonna take care of it all. And I do believe that there's just this change that's happening. And I'm not saying God don't got it, but there have been greater places that have suffered worse. Like so America is not that we cannot suffer destruction.
Let me ask you this, Constance. So what would you rather us do? Do you want us to, and this is the work that I do, and it's become a part of who I am.
I love that.
If I stay in the negative realm, I lose ideas. I lose motivation. I lose the capacity to get myself out. And if I preach that to people, to succumb and to look at what they can see, which is temporary, they will sink. That is what is your reality. Whatever you believe your reality is, that is what you would do. But I come from a history of people who for 400 years woke up to a worse nightmare. And how did they do it, Constance? How did you wake up knowing that you would get raped, lynched, possibly beat, picking, bending over cotton for 400 years for the thought of me? And this time is nowhere near that. I cannot tell people not to see and be able to reframe what they think they're seeing so that they can overcome. Because I know I come from people in the history that for 400 years, they woke up to a nightmare for the thought of me. And so because we're going through a trying time that I'm not going to find a way to overcome, I'm not going to preach that to y'all.
No, and you that's why you the therapist. That's why we need you, lady. Right now, I'm not feeling that way. I need these words.
The concern, though, is, and I agree with everything she's saying, but I think about my grandmother's generation. I think about even my mother's generation, and they can relate to their struggle. I can't really relate. I was born in 1970. I can't relate to that. My kids cannot relate to that. So that's where my big concern come from. Yeah, we were talking about that generation that came from that grind, and they know how to get out there and turn some ground over and all that to eat. I would have no concerns. But the fact is, we have a whole generation of people that have, when you say eat, all they know is to go through the drive-through. I'll go to the grocery store. They don't know nothing about going to no garden and picking stuff. And, they don't know that. And so that's where, for me, my concern comes, just with this generation. They have not experienced struggle.
Yeah. And guess what? But this is what I'm saying. This introduction of struggle, if you look at it properly, that generation needs this because they've been living in a la-la land, right? And they've been living in an alternate planet thinking that none of this could happen. And that's why we are where we are today, because of that respite. And somebody drunk the Kool-Aid and thought that, oh, we good now. Like, who would teach you that? Like, we did that. We dropped the ball. And now we got a whole generation of people who we got to introduce the struggle back to so that they can reignite. Because guess what? They still got our ancestors' DNA in them. They still got that. So all they got to do is have a hit. But then to start getting back on track. You know what? This don't feel good. I don't like it. Lord, start dropping some downloads. How I'm going to get out of this? How am I going to survive? Because I'll be damned if I let my grandbaby, who is a part of this generation, sink. They will not sink, and I'm here. So what am I saying? Introduce the struggle and then give them the tools, Dr. Sabrina, because you got some tools, ma'am. You on fire. Give them some tools, ma'am, that's going to help them say, okay, we here, but you ain't sinking. You swimming. Now let's get to swimming. And this is how you do it. Inch by inch by inch by inch. Your children are going to make it, and they need this struggle. This struggle is good. And the reason the struggle is good is because you here. And while you over them, right, you're going to make sure they don't sink. So they need the struggle now, because if you wasn't here and they was going through the struggle, their demise would be almost complete. But it's not.
Okay, so listen, this reminds me of that saying, hard times produce strong men produce easy times produce weak men produce hard times. And that's what it sounded like, Dr. Sabrina, what you were kind of like getting at. Like, we ain't had to struggle. We ain't had to fight the power. We ain't had to really, get out there in the streets. We didn't have hoses, on us, and we didn't have dogs biting us, and we didn't have to go sit up at them white people's counter because eating their nasty ass food. We had these luxuries, which also bred an entitlement per se, and then it made it a little bit easier on us. And so we're not prepared for the struggle. You think about the revolution being televised, or the revolution, and Black people are not ready for a revolution. We not. So, Dr. Felice, I want you to give us a final thought of what's next for us.
Wait.
Oh.
Before we get to final thoughts, let's go ahead and run a video, and then we'll do final thoughts.
Oh yeah. Let's run that response, the Trump Now video.
No, I don't have a Trump Now video, but I was going to definitely do some
I thought I was
going to do a fact. Well, there was a fact check. There's a do you have it?
What?
No. I don't want to run that. I want to do a little fact check.
So it's week 4 of the government shutdown. And one of the most repeated attacks on Democrats from Trump and Republicans is this.
The far left faction of Senate Democrats shut down the government because we wouldn't give them hundreds of billions of dollars for health care benefits for illegal aliens.
They want to reinstate free health care paid for by taxpayers to illegal aliens.
They want $1.5 trillion for health care for illegal
aliens.
Now, is there any truth to this? What Trump and the GOP are referring to are the 1.4 million people living in America that are what's called lawfully present. Now, this means they're not permanent U.S. citizens, but they also aren't undocumented or here illegally. Lawfully present people fall in a few categories: DACA recipients, refugees, asylum seekers, people with temporary protected status, claimees under the Violence Against Women Act. All of these individuals were granted some form of temporary stay, and many are working to legally obtain permanent status in the United States. Now, one thing Democrats are trying to do is restore healthcare funding for those people after Republicans stripped that funding earlier this year. And when I've dug in deeper with White House officials, they've revealed one of the central motivators behind the claim. They say the Biden administration abused the immigration parole program to grant temporary entry to the U.S. for people who shouldn't have ever received it in the first place. And that's a more nuanced claim because it argues whether lawfully present people should be granted that status in the first place. So are Democrats trying to give free health care to undocumented or illegal immigrants? When it comes to the 1.4 million lawfully present people in the U.S., no. As catchy of a talking point as that may be for Republicans amidst the shutdown, it doesn't tell the full story.
I can't even hear you, Tiara. You muted, baby. You muted, baby.
Oh, I just wanted y'all to know what was going on here like, what are we even shut down? Because a lot of people are just like, oh, the government shut down. Why? We can't eat. They're thinking like SNAP or benefits are the reason. And they, so I just wanted to make sure that people understood why
But
we were here.
I think what also happens is people don't read themselves. They listen to pundits talking. They listen to sound bites, and then they get their talking points from that. We're very clear on what the issues are, but if a Republican says, and I've seen these people on the timeline, they're saying exactly what Donald Trump said, and he calls them illegal aliens. That is not even politically correct anymore, right? But like, this dude is so fucking stupid. Like, come on, guys. But because they're trying to give healthcare to, immigrants, illegal immigrants. It's not true. But nobody reads. Nobody does their research. They're whatever this stupid ass say, they're going to repeat it and believe it. And that's the thing. So, Doctor, I'll start with you, Dr. Felice. I know you always got to go. I know your schedule's always is packed. But let me ask you this. Let's end with this. When the government fails us, how can we as a community take our power back? Specifically for you, how do we take our power back financially, emotionally, and collectively, so we're not at the mercy of this political chaos?
Yeah. And so I don't believe the government has ever been my source, my sufficiency or source. And as a woman of faith, I always look to my sovereign God, and I'm not lying, y'all. He's never failed me. And so when we realize that government is not our source and was never intended to be our source, and hopefully our churches will start rising up and taking their rightful place and making sure that they're an answer for a lot of these things that are going on in our country, that's going to be monumental. And I need people to stay positive. I need people to stay optimistic. And I need people to start going back to their roots, going back to those things that we knew that helped us. And I need you to stop fighting the struggle, lean into it, and let it inform you. Let it give you the data that it needs to give you in order to not just survive, because I know that we're a generation that we don't know what survival looks like, but to thrive and to know that you can overcome this. And there's nothing wrong with a little bit of struggle, not a little.
Hey, it's time to put our big girl, big boy panties up, pull ourselves up by our bootstraps. Let's do this shit.
And where can we find you, please?
So you can find me at www.thebebigcoach.com. You can also find me on Instagram and Facebook. I'm b.big.coach on Instagram and bbigcoach on Facebook.
This one can't focus. She got to start beating on tables and stuff.
Big.coach. Hey, big.coach. I'm gonna go with you next, Miss Tiara, Miss Black Hollywood. How do we take our power back? What do we do right now, boo?
Well, like I said, I think it's going to be before you can start telling people, hey, start a business, start investing when they're worried about what they're going to eat for dinner, is just probably not what we need to be telling people right now. It's, so what I decided was, instead of having us do, I decided to just start like a B1 bulletin, right? So if you are sitting at your house and you know something that is happening in your community that can benefit others, whether that's a food bank, whether it's any type of resource, somebody looking for a job, if you are in fact an employer and looking for employees, whatever that is, email me. And then on Fridays, we're going to do free resource Fridays, and we're going to give away that information. So that, to me, that is the way that we can right away start to connect people and make sure that you have what you need. If you hungry tonight, the only thing is, y'all, we just got to be vulnerable enough to say, I need it. Right. I think that's the only thing. You know, you ask and you receive. Like you gotta ask. You can't be too proud to ask for something. Too proud to look at your sister and say, "Man, I need this. Can you help me?" And so I would just say that. Email me if you know of anything, and email me if you need something.
Or if you don't, email her.
Well, don't email me if you don't need nothing. Don't do that, because I don't do that, because I don't want to just talk. Like I don't want to do that. But but definitely, like I feel like that's the best thing that we
No,
can do
that's
in
so
this
dope.
moment.
Let's be
Is be
action
there.
oriented, and I love that you always try to have solutions, Tiara. That's dope. That's why I love you, sis. That's why I love you.
I love you most.
Where can they find you outside of info@realvirtual.net?
Oh, I'm at Miss Black Hollywood across all platforms, or Karma J Music. Yeah, y'all. We are going to debut the world premiere of I Don't Want That, my first single, on Friday. So on Friday, I'm gonna show my video, and just across the internet. We're gonna show the video. Yes, that's gonna happen. You gonna come on Friday?
I love
Friday?
that.
Let's
I'm
see. I'm
coming.
gonna show y'all. I Don't Want That. It's done. It's good. I thank all my
Hello.
queens here. Y'all in the credits, all of the things.
What? Let's go. I am so excited.
Yeah. So
I'm
on
about
Friday,
to
I
be
got a video
smiling and
coming out.
everything. That's good. I can't wait, sis.
Yeah, it's
Good
cute.
shit.
It's cute. I did a little thing. All
I
right, so
can't wait.
email me, y'all. Make sure.
Whether you need her or not. Anyway, Dr. Sabrina, what can we do, sis? You out there in Mississippi. I know things are no different from Mississippi to DC to California to New York to Charlotte. What can we do to take our power back right now?
I think we can do what we can do. Everybody has something different that they can offer. And the reality is, we just have to identify that thing that we can do. For some of us, it may be, digging in our pockets and giving to help others. For some of us, it may be, just going to the grocery store and buying a little extra. But I think all of us have something that we can do to help our fellow man. And for some people, you guys, as I said at the top of the show, if you weren't here, it may just be exercising patience. It may just be exercising empathy. It may just be being a listening ear or saying something supportive to our fellow man that finds themselves going through something at this time. But let's try our best to be good human beings through this, because it's somebody else's time now. It could be ours, later. With that being said, y'all know who I am. Y'all know who I am. I am Dr. Sabrina Edmond Williams, educator, author, and investor, opening minds and closing contracts. I am so noted. I'm so excited and delighted because I've been here with these queens. We've talked about the things that are going on in the world. We have made an effort to put some positive energy out in the world. And hey, guess what? I'm here to help you get that estate plan done, because the reality is people are getting sick and people are dying. And we need to have some direction about how to leave things in the case that we are not here, or we are incapacitated and we can't handle our own business. So if you need help with that, call me, email me, text me, let me know you need my help. I'm here to help you. What does Miss Black Hollywood say? I got you. I am so noted across platforms. Love you guys. Have a good one.
Wow. So this has been a really awesome discussion. And it just, I think it's going to show how resilient we are as a people. The great Fred Hampton, who was murdered at the age of 22 or 23, he was one of the best leaders in this country. And one of the things that he said is that united, if black, brown, red, yellow, people, poor, we're all united, then we can fight the powers that be. The problem is America is so sick with racism. It's hard to galvanize other people for a common cause, because what the powers have done so masterfully is convince us that we are each other's enemies instead of seeing who the real culprits are. And so if we can, I think, be a little bit more harmonious and a little bit more tolerant towards each other, I think it's going to make a difference in how we show up and how we get through this time.
Yeah.
So, where can you find me? Everywhere at I am Constance Carter. And I did a video yesterday on the government shutdown, and it's still in my thing. Hold on real quick. So I'm gonna show it to y'all before we get out of here. And then
So you did have a final thought.
that was my no, it's not in there. Shit. Wait, where you at? It wasn't in there, babe.
It's not in the. It's in there. It should be.
One in there.
It should be in yours.
One in mine.
You got so many videos in here. I wouldn't even know where to start. All right. Well, I got a video, I think.
I got the video right here. You ready?
Okay. Well, yeah. Let's do it. All right. We'll see y'all tomorrow. We love y'all.
While everyone is distracted by the government shutdown, there's something deeper taking place. A systematic dismantling of every single policy that ever gave Black people a fighting chance in this economy. One of the first orders of business for this administration wasn't about helping the middle class or feeding the poor. It was about removing DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. Gone. Not only did they gut it from federal policy, but they're pressuring colleges and corporations to follow suit. Why? Because DEI gave us access to boardrooms, to opportunities, to contracts that were once reserved for everybody but us. And it doesn't just stop there. Look at what happened in October of 2025. The DBE program, the Disadvantaged Business Enterprise, which was one of the few ways minority-owned businesses compete for government contracts, has now been stripped of race and gender. That means the very program meant to level the playing field just became another system that favors those who already hold 80% of the contracts. White men. Black people, we get about 8 to 9%. It's not equality. That's economic erasure. Then look at what they did to the Fearless Fund, a venture capital firm that dared to invest in Black women because less than 1% of venture capital goes to us, and they sued them for discrimination. Now make that make sense. Now let me tell you something. This ain't random. It's strategic. When you look at the Fortune 500, over 85% of CEOs are white men and fewer than 1% are Black women. It's not because we're not qualified. It's because a system was never built for us to lead it. So what we're seeing isn't just a government shutdown, it's an economic lockdown on Black progress. But here's what they didn't count on: us. Then effed around and gave us AI, they gave us the internet, and guess what? We got each other. So while they shutting their doors, it's time for us to build our own, because only 3% of businesses in Black communities are Black owned. That's why our dollars don't circulate. Not because we don't have the money, not because we don't want to do business with each other, because we don't have enough businesses to do business with each other. It's time to change that. Start your business, support your brother, support your sister, and let's circulate the Black dollar. And don't think you need millions to start. You can literally launch a business from your laptop. We got more power in the palm of our hands than they had when they put the man on the moon. Start a digital product brand selling your expertise. Offer virtual services like social media management and bookkeeping. Sell AI generated art, journals, or a template online. Create affiliate income by sharing products that you already use. Or start a small home-based business. Baking, tutoring, cleaning, consulting, whatever gift you have, turn it into income, because history is repeating itself in real time, y'all. But this time, we have the tools to fight back differently. They may have the power, but we got the people. We have the brilliance. We have the resilience. And when we unite our dollars, because that's the biggest threat to America, Negro unity, there's nothing that we can't build. Now drop a Black fist in the comments and share this with someone who needs to hear this gem. I got it.